Well, the nightmare should be over in terms of cap whales. Thank God. We do need to look at some forwards here because we are only on 40 contracts. We got to sign Jack Conley because Jack Conley looks pretty damn good. He wants money. Philly's interested, but I am willing to sign Jack Conley because we still have money. Can't wait to see them decline contracts. Cyber, if they do, you're banned for a week. If they do, you're banned for a week for putting that evil out there. So, hope the joke was worth it, pal.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking...
Ron, thank you for the follow, by the way. Conley went with a different team. Rutu did sign, so we didn't get Conley, but the 2 cap whales signed. Which is good. Let's see. UFAs, players that might develop. Fucking Chad Ruedel just won't go away, but I have too many defensemen. Well, shout out to Brad Ross. Bring you back. Are there any good 3-stars? And how many are there? How many are there? There's a couple 25-year-olds. Patrice Cormier, Max Sauve, Mario Kempe, Mark Stone. Let's try to save Mark Stone from relative obscurity. Anybody else? Valtteri Verkunen. We can sign you as well. Cool. That should be good enough. That should be good enough. Free agency in these games, man. It was not quite as I remember. I remember finding steals left and right. Not quite the same at this stage, you know? Not quite the same. But that's okay. We're still looking pretty good. Best sour chew candy. I mean, probably Sour Patch Kids. I don't eat that stuff anymore. I got older, man, and I don't like the feeling of shit sticking to my teeth. No thanks. All that can go through my head immediately is like, well, this could be pricey. So, yeah, we don't risk it. We don't risk it. Don't get me wrong. Who doesn't love a good package of gushers every now and then, but I don't anymore. Oh, I love that the off-season sims quickly. 43 players under contract, $10 million in cap space. Average age on the team right now is 25 years old. It might be even less once we get the finalized team set up, and obviously we signed those two cap whales. So, you know, Victor Foss trying to be traded by the Ducks. Ooh, Ian Cole is still an RFA. I don't want to keep getting the same damn players, but as we get ready for our 3rd season here, if Ian Cole is cheap enough, still wants $4 million as an RFA. That's a 1st and a 3rd. No, thank you. No, thank you. Way too expensive. Way too expensive. So in goal. Wow, Makarov's ready. I wasn't expecting that. We are going to go with Makarov and Poulin. Svedberg's not going to get too much better. We'll go Pascali and Whitney in the AHL, but Andrei Makarov ready to go. Defensively, Myers, Loxo, Dalroth, Bortuzzo, McNabb, McElrath will be down for Glubov as our 6. And for the forwards, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh boy. So Blank can go down. Shinkarik, Yarncroak, not yet. Call up Verkunen. Call up Larson for the moment. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess we can play Jordan Schrader on the roster. It's him or Mark Stone. Let's give it to Mark Stone. We'll put Mark Stone. Did Ruutu fall off a cliff? I mean, he was always a sub 70, wasn't he? Or maybe it was a 71. Ruutu was definitely not a 77 when I signed him. He was not. He was not that good, I promise you. Let's see. We do need Baptiste. Scratch Legault. Schofield. Who can I take you out for? Bring in Jacobs. That's fine. And then left wing side. Take Ruutu out for Hunter Shinkarik. And scratch Ruutu. Defensively, Jordan McElrath. I mean, yeah, honestly, that's fine. I just realized John Scott's in the AHL. Shit. Back over to forwards. Bump up John Scott. Drop Mark Stone. Gotta make that change. Yeah. Well, let's completely redo what the hell we just did. Baptiste in for Legault. Schofield out for Jacobs. And Ruutu will be out for Hunter Shinkarik. Goalie-wise, Pascali and Whitney. Rochester should still be good this year. NHL-wise. We're going to go with Scott, Adam, and Ty McGinn. Let's go Grigorenko, Gergensons, Kane. Bowman, Verkunen, Nathan Gerby. Then we'll go Kaloran, Larson, and Corey Trop. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. But put Grigorenko and Gergensons with Kane to try to get them to develop. Laxo, Myers, Dalroth, McNabb, Golubov, Bortuzzo. Bump up Dalroth. Shake those around. And then goalie-wise, Makarov and Kevin Poulin. Which, honestly, that combination will probably win us some games this season. Which is a little bit scary. We actually don't have as bad of a team at this stage as I thought we would. Primarily because we have gotten some decent player development from those kind of fringe NHLers that other teams let go of. Not that I'm complaining. It's nice to be ahead of schedule. Let's turn off the trade offer notifications until the All-Star break, as we do. Don't want to be bombarded with 17,000 offers throughout the season. Last season, we named John Scott as our captain, and that will remain. John Scott is the captain, with Nathan Gerby and Tyler Myers having letters. Why not? Show some respect for Tyler Myers. Then in terms of the GM tracker, negative 98 GM reputation. Still can't improve our amateur scout any further, at least not yet. So I think we're ready to go for this next season. Dabrowski, take it easy, by the way. In terms of our grade, by the way, what does this team look like for ratings? 3.5 star, 4 star, 3.5 star. That's not bad. Boston's obviously worse because they're going to be running a preseason style roster, whereas we're just going with our main team, which could be called a preseason style roster in some regards. It's not the best team in the world, but hey, it's our team. There are many like it, but this one is ours. We do have draft picks as well heading into next season. Not nearly as much as we had from the first 2 years, but we know we have, what is it, at least 3? Let's double check really quickly if I can get the sim to stop. How many draft picks do we have heading into this draft where, again, we're kind of going to be past the humans being featured players. Oh my God. Menu lag. There we go. All right, 2. So we have our own and we have New Jersey's. We have 4 second rounders. That's not too bad. Basis! Sorry, 24 is ass. Why be sorry? I'm having fun, man. I'm having fun. People have been interested. And just a look back to the past. I'm fine at this stage. Trust me, I wish I could have fun on 24, but we're like a very fat cat. We find ways to land on our feet. I'll just scout more seriously. I probably should this season. I was used to the prior seasons not mattering as much, but I actually should pay attention now. So, fair enough. Let's see. 3 first-round forwards in the dub. OHL only has 2. The Q only has 1. The US has 2. Czech's got 1. 3 in the Elite. 3 in Russia, and rest of world has a South Korean, a Brit, and a man from China. Yeah, fuck it. 3 people, 3 weeks. There we go. That's the rule. Beautiful. Yeah, it is true this year could have a good amount of overagers still. That's fair. That is true. But I don't think it'll be... It won't be anybody too notable, right? Like, you're not going to be like, oh, this guy was 17 for last year's draft, and now he's 18, and he's at the top of the list. It's like, I don't really think that's going to happen. Apparently, it is still going to be a good year for rookies, though. So, good to know. Good to know, good to know. Saw Fleury and Bleakley. As I said, there's not going to be too many great names. When you're having to mention, Cody, Hayden, Fleury, and Connor Bleakley is like, but they're in the draft, I rest my case. All right? I stand by what I said. We're 0-3. We have a better roster than we had at any point last season. And we're now 0-4. I blame Patrick Kane. Tank Commander Patrick Kane. He knows what it's like to stand by a shit GM, so he's a perfect fit for my team. Except I'm just shit at my job. So, as opposed to Stan Bowman, who is shit in a lot of different ways. What do you mean you did? Okay, yeah, fuck it. Again, I had him scout the dub, and he's like, oh, I finished that assignment in the United States. Not bothering with it. Not bothering with it. We'll leave it as it is. I don't care. We'll leave it as it is. I don't care. He wants to do his own thing. Let him do his own thing. I couldn't care less. It's pretty funny that Kane isn't leading in goals or assists. Well, everybody knows Drayson Bowman is a better player than Patrick Kane. So, I'm not seeing the problem here. You mean you don't have a Drayson Bowman jersey? He's not your favorite player? Mike Komisarek. No thanks. No thanks, no thanks. Known offensive weapon locks. I mean, he's crushing it, huh? He is crushing it. Where's Drayson Bowman playing nowadays? I'm intrigued. That's real. What's going on? Time for Stanley this season. Oh, yeah, look at the record. We're crushing it. Drayson Bowman retired a while ago. Like 5 years ago. Fair enough, Drayson. Fair enough. Fair enough. Went 3 weeks and then 1 week in the US. It's not supposed to do that, though. You go 3 weeks, like I told you to go 3 weeks, and then hit me up. Don't just be like, oh, and I made a pit stop in Albuquerque. Like, I didn't tell you to make a pit stop in Albuquerque. So if you're going to do what you want to do, Scout, you just go ahead and do it. And if you suck, I'll replace you once I get enough upgrade points to actually replace you. Yeah. Shout out to leading scorer Johan Larsson. It's a good thing I didn't make like a bet for... hey, who's going to lead the team in goals? Because a lot of people would have said Patrick Kane. And you are not winning if that was your presumption. So, not at all. Yeah, keep scouting the WHL. We're going to be... It's a Western Canada Draft of Glory. Has the NHL series ever had good scouting? No. No, not really. For as basic as like Madden's and MLB's has been in the past. No. They really haven't. It's never really been engaging to interact with. Even now it's... I probably, even if I wasn't streaming, I probably would just keep it on Auto Scout anyway. 'Cause it's not an engaging thing. To be like, all right, let me look at this guy in this region. It'd be better in certain ways, I think, if it were to mimic what Madden used to have, where it's, hey, you can look at this many players on this day, or NCAA football. You can look at this many players on this day. Patrick Kane now leading the team in assists. So be careful with who you look at, because you don't have that much time. You're going to optimize. I don't know. There's just more engaging ways to do it. But I always had more fun with Madden scouting, or especially college football. So even FIFA is in a much, much better spot with its prospect recruitment. Obviously, there is not a draft in that world, but again, more engaging. So, K-Town, what's going on? How the heck are you? Shout out to leading scorer with a +3, Nathan Gerby. Who is Verkunen? He's a dude. He's a dude. It's the best way to describe him. He is a dude. He's a free agent that we signed, and he's crushing it. 11 goals on a very bad Sabres team. It is Patrick Kane, yes, who is clearly dragging this team down. He got the hometown contract and discount. Now he's just sandbagging it, not putting in any effort. Just a real displeasure to have on the roster, Patrick Kane. Hopefully he doesn't take out his on-ice shortcomings on anybody off the ice. Yes, I'm going to continue to make the same jokes people have been making for 15 years. Because I can. Because I can. Part I don't like about FIFA is that you can be the worst team in existence and find a guy who's already better than everyone on your team, and he just signs, no question asked, for like $500. That's fair. That is fair. At the same time, if it were to be difficult to keep them, I would understand it. Because that is how it works in a sense, is, these clubs find these younger players and then, well, guess what? They want to go to Real Madrid eventually, So, all right, almost to the new year. The distant future of 2016. 2016, yes. I haven't asked the opposite. Where did I saw the Quinn Hughes debate among Canucks fans and Canucks Twitter, and a lot of people being like, he is so much better than what this guy rated him. I typically don't have the energy anymore to be like, I vehemently disagree with this guy's opinion on just how good this player is. I used up all that energy on Carey Price. It's a new era for me. I just don't have the energy anymore. I was too busy fighting that battle over Carey Price. Again, that's why the freaking... I loved it when I found the meme that was on my phone still from the other day. For those that missed it on the Twitter side of things. Somebody, I forget who it was on the Discord that made this meme a while ago. Yeah, I used up all the energy at that point in time. Quinn Hughes is very, 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 very good. Quinn Hughes is the captain of the Canucks. Who gives a fuck if someone in an article is like, yeah, but he's not Cale Makar. Who gives a shit? Even if it's hypocritical for the guy to have said he's actually really good, and in a follow-up article he says, well, actually he's not that good. Who gives a shit? And I'm not saying like anybody here is just like, you fucking loser, although kind of. It's just not worth the energy, because it's like, okay, so this person, either you think they're right, you think they're an idiot, or you think they're doing it for attention, or a combination of the three. So if you think they're right, just be happy. If you think they're an idiot, why do you care about their opinion? And if you think they're doing it for attention, then don't give them the fucking attention. You know? But at the same time, I fully understand people being like, you know what? I want to get in a good Twitter fight today. Because don't get me wrong, Twitter fights can be fun. I love Twitter fights. I do. I fucking love arguing. I do. Okay? I come from a long, long lineage of A-grade arguers. My family, we can argue until we're out of breath, blue in the face. Dude, I could be 6 feet under and I'll find a way to argue with somebody. It's gonna happen. Fucking the big man or the big red man. Or just, I'll argue with the void. My energy, when I die, will disperse. And that energy will argue with your energy. Like, I don't care if I become a fucking tree. I'm gonna call another tree an asshole. I love to argue. But at the same time, who gives a shit if a writer's like, I don't think this guy's as good as everyone else does? Who cares? Save that energy for when a dickhead like Steve Simmons is ragging on people like Phil Kessel for no fucking reason. Save the energy for arguing with idiots like that, because at least it's fun to dunk on someone like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I love a good argument as much as the next guy, but at the same time, pick your spots. You know? Especially, too, over something like Quinn Hughes is a B+ instead of an A-. He doesn't mean that. Like, who cares? Now, if the person's saying, you know, Quinn Hughes, you think he's an A, but I'm going to write 600 words about how he's actually like a D-. Dunk on him, but then again, that reverts back to the point of like, well, they're just doing it for attention, so why bother? I've gotten old, man. I've gotten old in some ways. It sucks. Trust me, I wish I could just be like, nope, fuck you all the time, but I can't do it anymore. It's not as fun as it used to be, you know? So, with that, let's open up our trade block, given that we hit the All-Star break. Let's do it. Oh my god, the D-pad on this freaking knockoff 360 controller sucks. Got you by a decent margin on the age thing. Fair enough. Fair enough. But you get my point, you know? You get my point. Let's drop that down to 65, because I feel like we're not getting too many offers. If you're old, I should retire. I'm old in internet streamer years. You know, I'm not a freaking 19-year-old G Fuel snorting Fortnite fiend. Have you ever bought a game and feel like you've wasted money on it? Yeah, a lot, actually. I've gotten games for free and felt like I was deserving of a refund. Can you guess which ones? Can you guess which ones? All right, our surplus. Let's go ahead and list everything just to have the block a bit more open. And then on the trade block itself, I don't know. I don't know. Who should be on the block? Quite a few people, probably. Because of the whole lack of development thing. Definitely Tyler Fuhrer. We'll just leave it open. Leave it open and see what happens. So, all right. Let us go. Ooh, the Pirates have won 8 in a row. Let us go to the trade where is the trade deadline? There it is. Jesus. All right. Let's go to the deadline. I can't imagine we'll be a playoff team, although if Nathan Gerby keeps scoring, you never know. But how goes the hot burning garbage? I don't know, Frank. I don't play NHL 24. Got him. We're having fun. Sabres are still terrible. So, Sabres are still very, very terrible. We're trying to utilize Patrick Kane to develop some of our younger guys before sending him out to greener pastures. So, OHL. All right, welcome to February, boys. We need you to start losing more. Luke Adam and Raphael LaFontaine for a second-round pick is pretty much what I'm seeing here. Again, I love Raphael LaFontaine for no good reason, but he's not a good player in this game. Luke Adam is a fourth liner. We did get McDavid, yes. Adam is a bottom sixer, and the fact that I can use a bottom six guy to get a second-round pick, I gotta do it. Gotta do it. There's no reason to not take that deal. So sorry to Mr. Adam, but hopefully you can go to a somewhat competitive team. And we will call up Mark Stone as his replacement. Go best lines in the AHL at this point because I'm not really worried about it. And then NHL-wise, we do want to take out Svedberg still for Kevin Poulin. So in terms of fixing the lines, we want to drop McGinn again. I don't know if Mark Stone can play center, but he's going to play center today. Let's have Kane with Gergensons and Grigorenko. There we go. That works. That works. Watching the highlights after working all day. How come the Chargers never learned to cover Travis Kelce? It's easier said than done, man. It's like people who ask, like, why doesn't the bigger opponent simply eat the smaller opponents? Why don't you simply cover Alex Ovechkin when he's looking for a one-timer? Easier said than done. Well, not this year. Apparently it's pretty easy because he hasn't done a damn thing. Brett Bulmer, 23 and a 74. That's not bad. 2 first-round picks for Tyler Myers, though. I still want to hold on to Tyler Myers, at least for now. So yeah, simply cover Rob Gronkowski. You know, if it was that easy to, I mean, dude, today in the Eagles-Dolphins game, the Eagles had 3 defenders near Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill was still faster and got the ball for a touchdown. It's ridiculous. Zach O'Brien and Andrew Murray. We can drop both of them or not claim them. It's fine by me. Fine by me. All right. Will we get any other offers here? We're into February, even though it says January. Love that old glitch. Why won't you simply just... Why does the face puncher simply not punch Wayne Gretzky? Because then he'd have to deal with Marty McSorley. We did hit pro GM status after 8. Man, we've already simmed 800 days. Jesus. Dahlroth for a 3rd and a 4th. So Jesper Dahlroth is an 80 overall at 24 years old. He's probably not going to get too much better. He's decent defensively. I know you guys can't see it. Has some offensive skill as well. He cannot skate worth a damn. 17 points. Yeah, we're cashing out on Dahlroth. This was a nobody free agent that we kind of built up, and we turned it into a 3rd and a 4th round pick from Washington. We'll do that. What I feel about the Pats would. Great. I mean, they won a fucking football game. I couldn't believe it. 4, 5, 6. Who's the 6th going to be? Michael Jordan! Did I hear about... I did, Cynical. Tomas Kondratic. Well, I can basically turn it into Kondratic being a part of the trade. He's not that good, though, so don't need to do it. Kane's still the leading assist man. Makarov, 15 of our 20 wins. Oh, goodness. Sam Bennett for a third and a fourth. Now, obviously, Sam Bennett isn't quite what we want him to be. He's a 54 overall at 19 years old, only a 3-star. We did use a first rounder on him, but he's not amazing. Now's the right time to cash out on Sam Bennett for a third and a fourth. Do the Red Wings keep it up? Shout out to Medieval Relic. Or Medieval Relic, should I say, technically. I mean, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Do the Red Wings keep it up? I don't trust their roster to do anything in the playoffs. I just don't. Although their roster maybe could be more Vegas-esque. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look at this trade in a second. Like I'm glad for like Alex DeBrincat that he's doing really well. But at the same time, like, could Detroit make the playoffs? Yeah. But if you're asking me to trust a defense that includes Ben Sherratt and Justin Hall playing over 16 minutes a night, that scares me. A first and a second from Tampa. So basically a first-round pick from Mike Amadio and Josh Hosang. Amadio's a 50 at 19 years old, 2.5 stars, so he's not going to make it. The big question is Josh Hosang. He's only a 57 at 20 years old. He's not going to make it. I really, really want him to, but he's not going to make it. I'm going to cash out on Josh Hosang. He's just not going to make it. It sucked how, again, like EA has always done this. You have these real prospects that just cannot eventually compare to the generated dudes. It's still a problem in the game to this day. A second-round pick and Michael Dowcole for a first is basically what we're looking at here. This is a no-brainer. Dowcole's not going to make it either. I don't mind giving up seconds. He's a 57 overall at 19 years old, 2.5 red star. That's an easy deal. We'll get a first-rounder from Winnipeg. So I'm not even necessarily trying to, and I'm still racking up first-round picks. If I had to pick today, who are my 1 through 8 in the East for the playoffs? So to date this for the people that will watch it on YouTube eventually, it is October 23rd. 1 through 8 in the, in the Eastern Conference. That's a tough one. It's actually a tough one because there are some teams that have really kind of struggled out of the gates. I mean, most teams have played anywhere between like 6 and 4 games. Fuck it. Rangers, Hurricanes, Devils, Bruins, Leafs. I don't care about the other 3. Those are the only ones that matter. A 5th and a 7th rounder for Nicolas Aube-Kubel. 19 years old, only a 5th. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. He was a 7th round pick for us, though, or something like that. He was projected 7, so to get a 5th and a 7th from Tampa is pretty good. Tampa thinks I'm onto something with these prospects that we're drafting, though, because they're trying to get all of them. Cody, take it easy, by the way. Boko Amama for a 5th rounder. We love ourselves some Boko Amama, but they did him dirty in this game. 51 overall, 19 years old. We will take the 5th round pick from Dallas. That's all we can do is just keep moving on. Keep moving forward. Recycle these prospects if we can. Because it's just a good way to go. It's a good way to go. God, hello, December 15th. It might be close to that, honestly. It might be close. I mean, you got to figure, on average, if I stream the entire night, we end up with 4 videos out of one stream, roughly. Sometimes more. But we typically end up with about 4 videos a night. And you got to figure NHL 11, 12, 13, and now 14. This probably will end up going up in December. We're close to it. Happy Thanksgiving, my fellow Americans. Or Merry Christmas. We're close to the holiday season. Spencer Smallman. 47 overall at 19 years old. Thank you for the picks in Winnipeg. Jesus. So many draft picks. We're coming up on the deadline. Wow, that happened fast. It felt like. Is Macklin Celebrini the undisputed number 1 pick? No. Someone could make a push, but he is the favorite. He's not the undisputed, but he's the favorite. A first and a 7th for Paul Bittner. 52 overall at 19 years old, 4 stars. I just don't see how at a 52 he makes it. So I'm willing to recycle Paul Bittner out for a first and a 7th in the future, too. Willing to do it. And we'll see if we're proven wrong and if Paul Bittner costs us in the future. Especially he went to New Jersey, didn't he? So it could haunt us in the playoffs. The Bruins win the Cup. How sad would I be that Bergeron and Krejci didn't win it? They already won one. I wouldn't care. Like, literally, I got downvoted to shit on the Bruins subreddit because I joked that Bergeron, Krejci, Hall, Bertuzzi, and company could have been holding them down. And people are like, how dare you joke about Patrice Bergeron holding back the team? The joke is they won 65 fucking games last year, and they're 5-0 after tonight. So people don't like jokes like that. But, all right, we start off the trade deadline with no offers in particular. However, it is going to be worth, I would say, taking a look at our roster. As we look at our draft picks, we have 3 picks now in the first round this year. So ours is just looking great. Winnipeg's not so much. That's going to be a late one. If we look at players that we have, McDavid's now a 61 at 19 years old. Nick Ritchie's only a 59 at 20. It would make sense to cash out on Nick Ritchie. I mean, McDavid, even I'm concerned that McDavid's not going to develop. Like, Ritchie, I mean, Ritchie has to go up, what, 20 points to be a solid NHLer? How long is it going to take him to go up 20 points? You know? Like, Bailey's a 74 at 20 years old. Like, that's the type of guy that we want. So, what teams are interested in Nick Ritchie? Obviously, we want them to be interested because we get more back in the deal. Does it bother you that even in 24, there's still no AI faces? Of course it bothers me. It fucking sucks. All right. Carolina not looking to trade their first, not giving up anything. Colorado, bunch of veterans, not willing to trade their pick. Dallas, ooh, Washington's pick is valuable. Not willing to trade it, though. Edmonton's willing to trade their first. So we will keep track of the Oilers here. Florida. New Jersey. We already have the Devils first anyway. Philadelphia. Not going to happen. Phoenix Coyotes. Woo-hoo-hoo, the value on that Coyotes pick. That's the deal right there. They are terrible this year. That should be a top 3 pick. Pittsburgh's also willing. Ooh, hold on. Pittsburgh. Okay, Mata wasn't good enough. Harrington. I'm still leaning towards the Coyotes. Damn, I was thinking we could do 2 for 1 there. San Jose. Not willing to move their first. They are trying to move Ryan Miller. Not really interested in bringing him back at this point. Tampa. Right now, it's the Coyotes. Unless there's a team giving up a great prospect. Stuart Percy's not quite that. Henrik Sedin. Canucks willing to move 2 firsts, but obviously we'd rather have the higher first. All right, we're going back to the Coyotes. That potentially very high first-round pick of the Coyotes. We got to move on from Nick Ritchie anyway. Is there anybody else that they're interested in that we'd want to move on from? Hunter Shinkaruk again. 64 overall at 21 years old. That might be enough. Ritchie and Shinkaruk for the pick. We have the Coyotes' first-round pick, and they are a terrible team. And we just sent them 2 players who aren't going to help them this year. And Ritchie and Shinkaruk. If those 2 end up developing, hey, more power to them. The Ducks are calling. They want Gerby for 2/3, a deal that they can apparently not do. So I'm going to back out on that. And we're going to see what else we can do. Keller. I'd love to end up with Clayton Keller right about now. It's my missing piece. All right, Howard Luck's a 66 at 20 years old. That's not too bad. He doesn't have crazy high value. I am still worried about McDavid, but I'm willing to give McDavid time. But only a 61 at 19 years old. That's a bit concerning. God. The value dries up from there, man. Chris Bigras has to go, and you can make the argument about Mirko Mueller as well. Again, he's got to go up at least 10 points to be somewhat usable, and how long is that going to take? Makarov's got great value. Moody has great value, too. Okay, so in terms of players that we want to trade, I hate to say McDavid's in the conversation. Chris Bigras, we definitely want to try to move on from. Verifying accounts, I could say hello from a few minutes ago on this channel. Well, McDavid, welcome in. And yeah, sorry about the whole having to have a verified account thing, but bots and trolls are freaking nuts on this platform. I kind of want to keep Mueller, but if there's the right deal for him, we got to look for it. But Bigras and Mueller are definitely, not Bigras and Mueller, Bigras and Moody are the two that we definitely have to move. So is there a team that's interested in Chris Bigras? Calgary. I don't think they were willing to move their pick. No, they are. And it's a pretty good pick. It would be a little bit difficult to pull off. Is there anybody that we can pair? I think we could pull off this trade. I think we could. Can you just play those prospects in the AHL to boost overall? Yeah, but I mean, well, no, because I mean, they have to go back to junior. Paul Byron, they're willing to give up. Okay. Lavalier is probably not going to make it. So we can add Lavalier to the deal. Mueller is playing in the AHL. And he's not growing. You have him scratched. That's fair. I mean, maybe that AHL time would help him develop a bit more, but there's also other prospects and guys who are trying to grow that are playing, like Nikita Zadorov. So you could argue prioritize Mueller, but my argument at this point is like, oh, he's unlikely to make it anyway. We might as well ditch him. Add Robbie Fabry to this. So anybody else? Mallet is not likely to make it because of how low of an overall he is. And then what if I use my second? So Bigras, Lavalier, Fabry, Mallet in a second for that first rounder from Calgary, and it goes through. That is another first round pick that we have acquired as we move on from Chris Bigras. A second round pick and a bunch of prospects. Welcome in Paul Byron back to Buffalo. We have the goaltender in Moody, who definitely needs to go. Way too low of an overall. Carolina didn't have a first that they were willing to give up. Columbus. All right, so we're looking at Columbus. Dallas was interested, but nothing they have that I'd want. Edmonton. We put Edmonton ahead of Columbus. Florida. No. New Jersey. It's also a no. The Islanders. No. Ottawa. Ottawa's not too bad. Ottawa, Edmonton. Not too bad. Philly. No. San Jose, not looking to move their pick. Tampa, we already have all their picks. How hard is it to trade for a pick that's not red? It's still about as difficult as it is, you know, in the modern games. I mean, especially, too, depending on what your trade difficulty's on. I feel like the AI were probably a little bit smarter at robbing people. The Canucks could be 2 picks, but they might be later picks. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. That's an easy 2-for-1 special of first rounders. Or we go for the Edmonton pick that could be better. I think we go for the Edmonton pick. That was about the most valuable. I might be able to get more than that first. Honestly, though, I might be able to get more than the first, but I don't really want to because I wanted to go through. We are limited on phones. So Alex Moody for Edmonton's first. is a done deal. I want to go back and negotiate with Vancouver and see what they want for those 2 dirt cheap first rounders. Their value's gone up a little bit, but I am willing to max out on picks here again if I can. Lang, who was terrible. Here's McNabb, Loxo, Nelson, Stone. Jacobs is terrible, but that would be a pick. I can only use dudes who are unsigned, of which we do have quite a few of them. Tyler Fuhrer. Can you use Tyler Fuhrer? Endo. We can use Zilberts. We can use Grant Weberman. I feel like I'm going to have to use a pick here. We don't have any second rounders this year. We already have 3 first rounders for next year, too. What if we use Tampa's second next year? It's a bit off in value. Damn. Trade him and watch his overall skyrocket. I hope it does. I hope it does. Because, again, I don't want to have to break my foot off in your ass the next time I see you. For a costly, costly lie. Don't you dare say you were mistaken. You lied to me. Return of the Mac. Let's see. Who else can we get here? Braden Point's not going to make it. Actually, we don't need Braden Point. I should be able to use 2 of these seconds. Let's use Winnipeg's and Ottawa's. Not available. Ooh, God, we put Makarov in there. That would have been a bad mistake. Whew. That would have been a bad mistake. They certainly would have taken that deal. Jesus. Why won't this go through? Why? What the fuck? Why does Makarov keep showing up? Didn't I remove him? Oh, I see what's happening now. It's the double click. Oh, I got it. I got it. Weird games being weird. I'm also hitting NHL 24 buttons, and the game doesn't like NHL 24 buttons. Gotcha. Will this go through? Yes, it will. We got 2 cheaper first-round picks from Vancouver in the final hour of the deadline. I think we have another 7 or 8 first-round picks this year, which is hilarious. I mean, go ahead and claim all 3 of those guys. Why not? We do have to fix up the roster post-deadline, but I still think we're in a decent little spot here.